Hello guys. Good morning to all of you. Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So I will tell you how to prepare for SAP interviews. Okay. So which areas you need to be more strong. For SAP FICO profiles. So first and foremost thing is you need to concentrate more on S4HANA important areas. So S4HANA important areas. Okay. So focus on new asset accounting. So new asset accounting almost 30 to 40 changes are there. So prepare these changes and ready for interview. Okay, and configuration changes as well as user level for execution level. So what kind of changes are there that you need to explain. Then prepare the business partner configuration along with tables, new tables, full concept. Okay, and ledgers concept. So like leading ledger, non-leading ledgers, and currency setup. Okay, and you need to prepare the activate methodology. Activate methodology along with SAP methodology and universal journal. Universal journal. So these are the important areas for SAP S4HANA. Okay. So these are the important areas. GS up to we explained some basic changes up to GL master. So if you are fresher, so you need to finish up all these changes. All these changes. So almost 60 plus changes are there. So just to prepare these changes for interview. And then focus on ECC. So for ECC projects, I told you SEPA file format as in DME context. DME configurations as well. At least the configurations and IDOCs with errors. Okay, and some troubleshoots I also shared in the our session. And then FI to MM integration. So here we discussed about some important areas, price difference. So tolerance. Okay. And asset procurement also very important. So PO. Okay. And FI to SD integration. So FI to SD integration. So we discussed some errors at the time of billing document. So these are all things end to end you need to learn. Okay. Then focus on automated payment program. So 20 plus scenarios I shared along with solutions. So 20 plus, out of that you prepare 10 questions, 10 scenarios at least. Okay, and so next thing is EBS. Search strings. What is meant search strings? Interpretation algorithm. Interpretation algorithm. So interpretation algorithm, configuration setup, and MT940 format. Okay. So then, so prepare. So these are the important areas. Okay, these are the important areas for UCC. In controlling, today I am starting controlling. So I will tell you material ledger concept and basic COPA for interview level. Cost centers, profit centers, and cost centers, profit centers, and the internal orders. For taxation point of view, so prepare withholding tax total configurations. So along with TDS remittance chalana configurations. TDS remittance chalana configurations is also very important. And the GST configurations along with the journal entries. Along with the journal entries, configuration and the journal entries. Okay, concept as well. So here technical topics. So technical topics. So prepare the RISE concept, CR processing, CR process, and validation and substitution. Okay, just this are sufficient for any interviews. Just get the knowledge in these areas, not basic stuff. Okay, so nobody will ask you the basic questions. So GLs, chart of account, posting key, field status. These are all basic stuff. That things you can easily answer, no doubt. But so these are the important areas for SAP FICO and S4HANA areas. Okay. So from today onwards, so make a plan. Okay, so for make a plan for all these topics, how we are going to cover and complete this within 20-25 days. Then you will ready for interview. Okay, so we will take all time mock test. If you are interested to give the mock test, we'll take. Okay, so you just ping me in chat box. So I'm interested on this area, so definitely help you out. See, and also we discussed project related things, project related stuff like blueprints, business process. In our sessions, we also covered these things. So business process, okay, and blueprints, real-time blueprints. And how to present it to the interviewer. And we taken mock tests and also shared some. So I also shared some mock tests which is already taken. These are things we covered so far in the workshop. So this controlling part is left. Okay. So we will cover up these areas. We will focus more on these areas. Then you can ready for interview, final interview. Okay. So remittance chalana. Okay, fine. Let's start the session. Just I'm copying these things. So here I forget to do the validation substitution. Okay, so prepare these areas for interviews. So now we'll discuss. Also share BAPI, BADI related stuff. BAPI and what is BAPI and BADI, basic stuff. At least if you get that knowledge, that could be well for interview. So I will give you overall idea regarding this SAP CO modules first. Then I will go to individual topics. Okay. So what are the sub modules we have in SAP CO? Cost element accounting, cost center accounting. Okay, internal orders, product costing, profitability analysis, profit center accounting. So these are all things are there in SAP CO level. So, but my suggestion is don't put much exposure on CO because the CO profiles are different. Okay, and it's a very tough comparing to ECC. Even you select, so you won't work in real time. Little bit complex things. Okay. The first thing which I want to tell you. What is the difference between primary cost and secondary cost? Anyone? What is the difference between primary cost and secondary cost? Tell me. So what is the difference between primary cost and secondary cost? So where is SAP FICO integration will be happen? S4HANA ECC changes. I'm sharing this document to you. Yes. So keep your audio mute, please. See, so how the data will flow from FI to CO because of primary cost only. Because of primary cost only, data is flowing from FI to CO, right? So here in the chart of accounts. So in the chart of account, we have ECC, we have an option manual creation of cost elements and automatic creation of cost elements. So once we go to chart of account OB13, there we will see manual creation of cost elements and automatic creation of cost elements. So manual creation of cost elements means, so we can create the cost elements manually. So that case, see your data, like chart of account is controlling is cost element is in controlling module. It's a sub module, right? Cost element is a sub module in control. So primary cost elements plays very important role to data flow from FI to CO. So you can see FI to CO integration perspective I'm talking. SAP FI and CO integration. So chart of account. So in chart of account, we have one option, one field, manual creation of cost elements or automatic creation of cost elements. So here chart of account is linked with company code, integrate with assignment company code. This company code is linked with controlling area. Okay. So whenever company code is linked with controlling area, that means so we need to pass the data from FI to CO as well. Why? Because so once you create the GL account to cost element, so you know what is cost element, right? Primary cost and secondary cost. So once we create the GL to cost element, so a system will ask the cost object. So cost object. So cost object should be cost center, internal order, and WBS, etc. WBS means work breaking structure. So this is master data on SAP project system. So we have one module PS. Okay, so through WBS we can collect the cost, project cost. We can collect, we can capture the project cost and revenue as well. Okay, so this is also called a cost collector. So what is the difference between cost center and WBS? So we can capture the project cost through WBS. The cost center we can capture the product cost. Okay, and we can capture the department cost, person cost, so any kind of expenditure, but not the related to project cost. So WBS is a work breaking structure. Asset under construction settlement will be happen through WBS or internal orders. Okay, so if say assets are related to project, then so this will be settlement will be done through WBS, or it should be done through internal order. So here must understand that. So how the data will flow from FI to CO, where the FI to CO integration will be happen in OKKP, controlling area creation. Controlling area creation, we are assigning company codes to controlling area. Whenever assigning company code to controlling area, then FI to CO integration is happen. So once you create the cost elements and posting the transaction with this cost element, you need to give the cost object. Cost object should be cost centers, internal orders, WBS. These are all things we can say is a cost object. Okay, so if tomorrow if Intel ask about, so tell me how the FI to CO integration will be happen. So the FI to CO integration will happen once we create the cost controlling area. So in the controlling area, we are assigning company code to controlling area, and also we are activating some components. If you go through this, you should get some idea. So just look at this OKKP. So in OKKP, just double click on this. So your controlling area is linked with the company code. So FI to CO integration. And here we need to activate some components. Okay, so just to look at this, what kind of components we need to activate in the control. This is also one of the interview questions. Cost centers, order management, profitability analysis, activity based costing, profit center accounting, projects, sales orders, cost objects. Okay, so these are all things we need to activate. So we need to activate. Okay, so we need to activate. These are all things we need to activate. So tomorrow, if we ask about what kind of components we need to activate in the controlling area, then you tell cost centers, order management, commitment management, profitability analysis, profit centers, project sales order. These are all things. So we need to activate in the controlling module. Okay, and you can also assign multiple company codes to one controlling area. So controlling area has a currency, like company code has a currency. Controlling area has also currency. If you look at this, so here controlling area has a currency. In the controlling area, so we are assigning chart of accounts, fiscal year variant, and also the cost center standard hierarchy. This is the linkage. So FI to CO reconciliation. So we are giving the document type SCA. So we are giving the document type SCA. Okay. So this is one of the important area for integration perspective. So FI to CO, how the data will flow from FI to CO because of primary cost elements only. So the data will flow from FI to CO only because of primary cost. So primary cost element, how we can create the primary cost in SAP ECC? So we have path. So we have path controlling area, cost elements. Okay, and master data, cost elements, individual processing. These are all T codes are for creation of primary cost and secondary cost. Okay, but in SAP S4HANA, these T codes have been removed, and these T codes will no more use in SAP S4HANA because we can directly create the primary cost, secondary cost elements through FS00. We already discussed these things. So create a primary cost KH01, secondary cost KH06. For changing KH03 and 02 display KH0, these are all T codes have been replaced in SAP S4HANA with FS00. So if you go to S4HANA screen here, only FS00 we will see. Only FS00 we will see. Got my point? Only FS00 we will see. Okay. So how the data will flow from FI to CO because of primary cost elements. Because of primary cost, data will flow from FI to CO. Okay, because of primary cost elements. So primary costs are just like for capturing the cost, like cost centers. So whenever you are giving the primary cost, for you in the line item level, you need to give the cost centers, different kind of cost centers, respective cost centers. Okay. So here cost object is very important for cost element. Like primary cost. You are booking any transaction with the primary cost, then we need to give the cost center. System will ask the cost center or WBS or any cost object system will ask. That details any either you can give cost centers or internal or WS, that is also fine. It depends upon the situation, we need to give these things. So WBS is a master data in the project system. So this is also one of the cost collector. So by the using this WBS, we can collect the project cost, capture the project cost and the revenues as well. So this WBS generally used for asset what we call asset under construction settlements. Okay, asset under construction settlements. This WBS or internal order, anyone should be used. If it is project related, then WBS. So investment orders we need to take. So in general case, so it is happen through internal order. So without taking internal order, WBS also we can settle asset under construction. Okay. So distribution rule we need to create. So there is a configuration is there. Settlement rules, distribution rules, and how much percentage you are allocating. So these things. So KO88. You want to settle through internal order KO88. Okay. So for the WBS there is different code CJ something is there for WBS settlement. What is the T code for asset class? We write it. So just to look at this asset class. This is not asset class configuration. So actually, if you go to SPROC, you will understand reference ING, asset accounting, organization structure. You will see asset class. Okay, asset class. So in this asset class, once you look at this, so no AUC line item settlement. So this line item settlement, once you select, you need to give the internal orders. Okay, you are settling the internal orders. Investment measurement, it is only for WBS case. So you need to select investment measures for internal AUC settlement. This AUC settlement. In normal case, no AUC. So without internal order and without WBS, we can also set it. Okay. In some cases. So here FI to CO integration will be happen like this. Okay. So whenever you are assigning company code to controlling area, then so FI to CO integration will be happen. Okay. Today nobody joined in this session. And the primary cost elements are generally is out of scope for decision making. So out of scope. So for decision making point of view, secondary cost elements should be used. So once you go to K0, once you go to FS00, edit cost element. You take any one cost element. So here we have options element category. Okay, so primary cost and primary cost. If you have created this as a primary cost, so you need to give this category, primary cost category. These are the primary cost categories. So you want to give the default for this GL account. You want to give the default cost center. So you can give this. Okay. So rent, audit fee, traveling expenses, insurance. These are all primary cost elements. Primary cost elements are GL accounts. It's expenditure related. So we can capture the only expenditure through primary cost. Primary cost elements are GL accounts, maximum GL accounts. Whether it is related to profit and loss account and balance sheet GLs. Secondary cost elements is in scope for decision making. We can use the secondary cost elements for decision making perspective. So for settlements for perspective or internal order settlements or activity allocations. So for this case, this secondary cost should be used. So for this case, secondary cost element should be used. Okay, and we have one more important T code. OKEQ. So in OKEQ, there is a 1.0 version is there. It's a planned version. 0.1 is the planned and actuals and work in progress variants. So here we have two configurations. One is setting for each fiscal year. So here, so we can plan integrated planning option we need to take and copy allowed. This option also we need to take. And profit center accounting. So here in the profit center accounting, so we can tick this fields. Okay, so you are activating profit center accounting for this fiscal year, and normal case you are activating profit center. For this case, we need to activate for 0 version. For 0 version, we are activating this year and integrated plan. Okay. So this is one important activity, it's a year-ending activity. Every year we need to change the year. You need to take this year. Okay, this is also year-ending activity. So this is overall idea regarding the primary cost elements. So primary cost elements is out of scope for decision making. We shouldn't use this primary cost for decision making. And secondary cost, so only for internal activity allocation, settlements. So for that point of view, secondary cost should be used. For example, if you go to KA02, okay. So take one secondary cost. So here the category, if you look at the category, this secondary cost used for internal settlements, assessments, overheads, internal activity allocations. Okay, these are all categories are there. Okay, secondary cost elements used for decision making, and so primary cost elements should not be used for decision making. So this is completely for capturing the cost. For capturing the cost, primary cost elements should be used. Okay. So this is a basic overview regarding the cost element accounting. So cost element accounting. So first to focus on the KNK T code. So sorry, OKKP T code. So here, what kind of things we need to activate? Okay. So those things are clearly mentioned here. So we can define the cost center standard hierarchy and also document type SCA. And here we can activate some components. So here we can activate components and assigning company code to company. These are all things. So you need to focus. And we have number range, K and K number range. So here you can take your controlling area and groups are there. So these are all groups. So here for respective groups, we need to give the number range. So FI to CO, like here, so you want to forward FI data to CO. Here we can give the number range for COIN. For reposting on all RKP1, so RKU3 for reposting. Reposting means so you want to change the cost center. So already posted with the one cost center, you want to change the cost center again. Then we can use reposting. So this is the COIN, right? COIN generally used for transferring the data from FI to CO. Okay. I think today is nobody joined. Okay, so we'll finish up this session. Tomorrow we'll see.